Update 1: I didn't expect things to get worse after my last post, but here we are. The situation with Sabrina has escalated beyond anything I could have imagined. After we kicked her out of our house, she started a full-blown social media campaign against us. At first, it was subtle posts about being worried about her niece and missing her terribly. She would share old pictures of her holding Emma with captions like how she missed their special bond and her feeding times with Emma. Then the posts became more aggressive. She started sharing articles about child neglect and postpartum depression, heavily implying that I was suffering from both. She even wrote long posts about how some mothers can't bond with their babies and how family members need to step in to protect the child. Her followers, mostly family friends and distant relatives who don't know the whole story, started commenting with supportive messages and condemning us for keeping Emma away from her loving aunt. Some of them even started messaging me directly, telling me I was being selfish and cruel. The worst part came last week when a CPS worker showed up at our door. Sabrina had filed a report claiming that Emma was being neglected and possibly abused. She told them that I would leave Emma alone for hours while I went out partying. I haven't even been to a restaurant since Emma was born, that I didn't feed her properly, and that she had videos of me ignoring Emma's cries. The investigation was one of the most humiliating experiences of my life. They interviewed us separately, checked every room in our house, examined Emma thoroughly, and questioned us about our parenting practices. They even contacted Emma's pediatrician and checked her medical records. Thankfully, the investigation was closed quickly as they found no evidence of neglect or abuse. Emma is hitting all her milestones, is well fed and clearly well cared for. During this whole ordeal, we discovered something that changed everything. Jack's cousin Amy reached out to us with some shocking information. She had recently started working at a daycare center across town, and guess who she ran into? Sabrina. Apparently, Sabrina had been working there as a full-time teacher for the past year. This was mind-blowing because Sabrina had always claimed her health conditions made it impossible for her to work. She would tell us how her chronic fatigue syndrome made it difficult for her to even get out of bed some days. Her fibromyalgia was supposedly so severe that she couldn't stand for long periods. Jack's parents had been supporting her financially for years because of these conditions. Amy sent us pictures of Sabrina at work, running around with toddlers, lifting babies, and doing all the things she claimed she couldn't do. She even showed us the staff page of the daycare's website where Sabrina was listed as an employee of the month 3 times in the past year. When confronted with this evidence, Sabrina broke down. She admitted that her conditions weren't as severe as she had claimed. She said she started feeling better about 2 years ago but was afraid to tell anyone because she didn't want to lose her family's support and attention. Working at the daycare had made her realize how much she wanted her own family, and seeing me have what she wanted had driven her crazy with jealousy. We took this information to Jack's parents, expecting them to be as angry as we were about being deceived for years. They had spent thousands on her medical treatments, bought her a specially designed bed for her condition, and even modified their house to make it easier for her to move around. But their reaction shocked us. Instead of confronting Sabrina about her lies, they turned on us. They accused us of spying on Sabrina and trying to destroy her life. His stepmom Linda said we should have kept this information within the family instead of exposing her. They said Sabrina must have been desperate to lie about her health, and we should be more understanding. Jack's dad went as far as to say that we were jealous of the attention Sabrina got from the family and that's why we were trying to make her look bad. He said exposing her lies was worse than her lying in the first place because now everyone would know and judge her. The family is completely divided now. Some relatives think we did the right thing by exposing her lies, while others think we're cruel for humiliating her publicly. Sabrina has been playing the victim, telling everyone that we're trying to destroy her life because we're jealous of her bond with Emma. She's now staying with their aunt, who keeps calling us to say that Sabrina cries herself to sleep every night missing Emma. The aunt suggested that we should let Sabrina babysit Emma a few times a week to help her heal from this trauma. When we refused, she said we were being vindictive and punishing Sabrina for being sick. Apparently, she's still pretending to be ill in front of some family members. Jack is devastated by all of this. He feels betrayed by Sabrina's lies but also guilty for exposing her. His parents' reaction has hurt him deeply because they're choosing to protect Sabrina's lies instead of acknowledging how she tried to destroy our family. I don't know what to do anymore. The CPS investigation is closed but Sabrina's lies have created a rift in the family that might never heal. Jack and I are considering moving further away to escape all this drama, but that feels like letting her win somehow. My main priority is protecting Emma, but I hate seeing my husband torn between his sister's lies and our family's peace. Update 2: just when I thought things couldn't get more twisted, Sabrina has taken her lies to a whole new level. I honestly don't even know how to write this because it's so disturbing, but here goes. Last week, Jack's cousin Amy called us again, this time crying. She had just left a family dinner where Sabrina had made a shocking announcement. Sabrina told everyone that the reason she was so attached to Emma wasn't just because she was her aunt, it was because Emma was actually her daughter with Jack. According to Sabrina's insane story, she and Jack had a brief relationship 5 years ago when she visited him in California. She claimed she got pregnant but lost the baby, and that's why she became so obsessed with having another chance at motherhood. She said Emma looks exactly like her lost baby would have looked, and that's why she feels such a strong connection to her. This is completely impossible because Jack was living in California for work during that entire year and Sabrina never visited him there. We have proof, photos, work records, everything. Plus, Jack and I met 4.5 years ago, and we have dozens of people who witnessed the start of our relationship. The timeline doesn't add up at all. But the most disturbing part isn't even the lie itself, it's how many family members seemed willing to believe it. Sabrina had apparently been planting seeds of this story for weeks, telling different relatives about her supposed secret past with Jack. She even created fake old photos of them together using some photo editing app. When we found out about this, Jack immediately called their parents to set the record straight. Instead of dismissing Sabrina's claims outright, they actually asked Jack if there was any truth to it. Their own father suggested that maybe Jack had forgotten about a drunken encounter with Sabrina. It was disgusting and heartbreaking to watch Jack try to defend himself against such horrible accusations. We hired a lawyer because Sabrina's lies were getting more elaborate and damaging. She had started contacting Jack's workplace, sending emails to his boss claiming that he was an unfit father who had abandoned his first child, her imaginary lost baby, and was now neglecting his second child, Emma. She even showed up at his office once, causing a scene in front of his colleagues. The lawyer sent her a cease and desist letter, warning her that we would pursue legal action if she continued spreading these lies. Instead of backing down, Sabrina posted a long rant on social media about how we were trying to silence her with legal threats because we knew she was telling the truth. Things came to a head when Sabrina showed up at her parents' house demanding they help her get custody of Emma. She had convinced herself that she had legal rights as Emma's real mother and Jack's first love. She even brought printouts of custody laws and had highlighted sections about grandparents' rights, thinking they applied to her somehow. This final act of delusion seemed to finally wake up Jack's parents. They called us crying, saying they had no idea how far gone Sabrina was and apologizing for not seeing it sooner. His stepmom Linda admitted that they had enabled Sabrina's behavior for years by always believing her stories and making excuses for her actions. But their apologies feel hollow now. We discovered that Sabrina had been running multiple fake social media accounts pretending to be me. She would post things that made me look like an unfit mother, pictures of wine bottles with captions about drinking while watching Emma, posts about wanting to abandon my family, comments about hating motherhood. She had been planning this smear campaign for months, possibly even before Emma was born. We've gathered all the evidence, the fake accounts, the edited photos, the emails to Jack's workplace, the threatening messages she sent us, everything. Our lawyer says we have a strong case for harassment and defamation, but Jack is hesitant to take legal action against his own sister. I understand his reluctance, but I also feel we need to protect ourselves and Emma from Sabrina's escalating behavior. What kills me is that some family members are still defending her, saying she needs support not punishment. They keep bringing up her health issues, which we now know were mostly fake, and her inability to have children, which no doctor has ever confirmed, as excuses for her behavior. It's like they're living in an alternate reality where trying to steal someone's baby is okay if you really want one.